What's up,
New York? You're here with Kylie Pax, Australia's emotional eating coach. We are here in gorgeous sunny
Mine is
Queensland.
Kylie Pax, and Kylie
I am so excited to be here in Dallas. You're here with Kylie Pax, Australia's emotional eating
is
coach.
Kylie Pax, Kylie Pax, Australia's emotional eating coach. Australia's emotional eating coach. Kylie Pax, Kylie Pax, Kylie Pax.
This week's episode of Ditch the Diet podcast is proudly brought to you by Ditch the Diet Online Bootcamp, my 6-week course that I am so proud to share with you. Registration is now open. This course has changed the lives of thousands of women around the globe. It is my 5 foundational steps for breaking free from emotional eating, taking control of your relationship with your body and food for life. Head to my website, kyliepax.com/bootcamp to find out more. So we're talking about raising your standards because here's what we do. The question I want to put out to you is, do you even know what standards you're living by? Do you even pay attention to the standards that you're living by? Because seriously, do you even question? Do you even know? If I said to you, what are your standards around your relationship with food, around what the food that you will and will not, have at any given meal or any period, or what are your standards around when you feel down, depressed, sad, angry, mad, even super happy? What are your standards around all of those emotions? How do you react? How do you respond? Do you turn to food? Do you not? What are your standards? Do you even know? Do you even know? If you've never stopped to question, then your life is just running on autopilot. And so then basically don't come whinging when everything falls apart and you're like, why can't I control myself around food? Because you've never even stopped to question, what are your standards? Have you even set any? Or are you just wafting through life, hoping that you're going to bump into something fabulous and everything will be great, but you've never actually set any standards for yourself. You're not living by a set of standards. You're just randomly, skipping off through the daisies, hoping that everything's going to be fantastic. What standards are you living by? That is my question for you today. So as we sort of, head towards the middle of the week, and we're, heading towards the middle of November here, you know what that means. You know what that means. It's a jolly, rotund man in a red suit. He's going to be arriving real soon, and you know what comes after that. New Year's Eve. We all start freaking out about, here we go. I'm definitely going to lose weight. Some of us are already panicking. I want to lose weight by Christmas, by New Year's. Some of us have just flicked that one way out of the stratosphere. We're like, it's never going to happen now. There's only, I should have counted the weeks. If anybody knows how many weeks there are left to go, there's many. There's not many. And my question to you as we start approaching that season is, what are your standards? How are you going to roll into that Christmas New Year period? And what standards are you setting for yourself when you come out the other side? If you don't decide now, then don't expect to get something you like if you haven't set standards for yourself. This is what I wanted to sort of give you a little bit of a reality check today. If you have never stopped to analyze what standards you're currently living by, how you feel about them, whether they're actually acceptable for you. Did you even set them to start with, or did they come from somewhere else? Are they someone else's standards and you just adopted them and never stopped to question, are these right for me? Do these feel good to me? Are these in alignment for me? Do I feel happy every time I follow these standards, or do these kind of suck? You've got to question, you've got to step up and decide for yourself, what standards do I want to live by here? Am I happy with the ones that I'm currently using? The ones where every time I get upset or depressed or mad, sad or feel bad or glad, I just stuff my face with chocolate or chips or pizza or ice cream. Am I cool with those standards? Because if you're fine with those standards, well, end of conversation. There's nothing more to say. But if those standards are causing you a little bit of pain, a little bit of discomfort, then it's time for you to step up and analyze. Start paying attention. What standards have you set for yourself? Because here's what we do. We tell ourselves, we sort of comfort ourselves, I'm going to raise my standards. I'm going to do better in all these areas. And we do, until it gets uncomfortable. Until the first pizza passes under your nose, or somebody gives you some chocolate, do you want to try this chocolate brownie? I just made it, it's fresh. And you're like, standards, woo, out the door. I don't care about those stupid standards, and stuff your face. Then we feel miserable and bad. That's not living by standards. That's living by, and I've talked about these before, that's living by a set of rules, which I'm not going to spell out for you because I don't swear on live streams, at least. I'm not going to say a cuss word, but that is living by rules, which are just nonsense rules. That's not standards. That's a rule. You set a rule for yourself that you can just eliminate whenever it gets a little too uncomfortable. So here's the reality check that I want to give you today. It's just sort of heading into middle of the week, middle of November. It's all going to start happening soon. You know what is coming over the next few weeks. The parties, the celebrations, it's all starting now. It's all starting now. So really, we need to set some standards for how we're going to approach and make our way through these periods, because you want to come out the other side feeling good about yourself and your body, not whinging and whining and making fake, phony promises. Oh, it's going to be so different. It's not going to be any different if you don't raise your standards, set some new ones, and decide that they matter more to you than anything else, because that is the person that you are determined to be, no matter what. No matter what. No matter how delicious the chocolate brownies are. I'm never saying, you know me. I'm never saying don't eat the chocolate brownies. Eat everything you want. I'm all about freedom of food. You know my ethos, ditch the diet. You know that's what I'm all about. But I'm saying that if you're going to set a standard, if you're going to set a standard, don't just flick it out the door like an annoying pest every time it gets inconvenient. If your standard is, I'm not going to turn to chocolate brownies when I feel sad, mad, bad, or glad, and then you find yourself still doing that, you don't have to beat yourself up, but you do need to ask the question. So is this really a standard that I've set for myself, or is this just a fantasy rule and I'm really not, maybe the standard you've set is too high and you're not comfortable living at that standard yet? Take it down a little. Come at it from a place that feels good to you. This is not like hardcore nonsense, but do ask the question, what standards are you living by right now? Are they yours? Or did they come from somewhere else? Did they come from a magazine? Somebody said, oh, you should do it like this and you should do it like that. So you go, yeah, okay, I better. Are they even your standards? Did they come from parents, loved ones, other relatives? Where did the standards that you're living by come from? Because if you didn't make them up, then you need to check in with yourself, find out what standards am I currently living by? Are these actually mine? Do I care? And if I don't want to keep some of them, get rid of them and adopt some new ones that feel good and right to you. Maybe 7 weeks. Ouch. I know, right? This is panic time now. People who are like so determined to lose all this, the weight that they promised themselves they were going to lose in the beginning. Now we're like, 7 weeks. Still haven't fulfilled all my promises to myself. Still haven't lived up to my standards. And we start to panic and start doing some crazy things. So when I talk about doing crazy things, I talk about the hardcore detoxes, the cleansers, because we're so determined, going on any kind of restrictive diet where basically you don't have complete and total freedom about what you eat, when you eat it, and how much you eat. None of those things lead to good outcomes. How can I say that with total confidence? I did it for 30 years. Did not give me the results that I wanted. Like I've said to you, I think I even said it yesterday, diets are a short-term quick fix. And I use the term fix very lightly because they don't fix anything. What they do is create a ton more problems, a truckload more problems for you. But we are so fooled into thinking that that is the only way. Diet now, we don't use the word diet as in this is the food that I eat, this is my diet. The word diet in our vernacular is just, that means a weight loss program. It does not, and that's actually not what the word diet means. It's not what it was ever. The word diet is, if I said to you, what is your diet? You would go, well, I generally eat, whatever, fruits, vegetables, That is your diet. But it has been sort of hijacked and held hostage by an industry that has convinced you that you need to be on a diet in order to lose weight. And if you're not, well, then, half the world is on a diet at any given time. It's just not a fun way to live. And not only that, it is never taking you to where you want to go. I did it for 30 years. No, I did not get the results that I wanted. I lost the same 20 kilos like 500 billion times on every single sort of diet that was out there. Never got the results that I wanted permanently. And it was such a torturous way to live. So this is what I really want to put forward to you today. As we head into the close of the year, gosh, don't panic. If you're starting to freak out now, all you need to do is raise your standards. So for those of you who are just joining us, I'm talking about raising your standards today and really checking and assessing. Did you even choose the standards that you're living by right now? Do you even know what standards you're living by right now? Because the easiest, quickest way to really get control of your life, your relationship with food, is simply to raise your standards. Now, I say that like simply to raise your standards. It's not the easiest thing in the world, especially when you feel like, I can't have chocolate, cake, cookies in the house. Like, I just eat all that stuff, or at least it can sit there for a few days or weeks. But the second I have crisis moment, it's like, oh, right? Standards, what standards? They're out the door. If this is you, if that sounds like you, if you're a woman or a man, if you're a person who knows you can lose the weight, but you're not, if there is something that is sticking and holding you back every single time, or if you do lose the weight and you gain it straight back, or there's a block there altogether, you just won't even allow yourself, every time you take 2 steps forward, it's like 5 steps back again, and you cannot figure out why, send me a private message and we can talk. I have a couple of positions open right now for private one-on-one coaching. If that's the right avenue for you, we can talk about it. If there's other more, easy ways that can be adapted into your current structure, we can talk about it. But yeah, please, what I want to put out to you is there's no need to suffer here. There is no need to suffer. There's no need to launch into a crazy workout, diet schedule. I speak to women every single day who promise themselves this is what they're going to do. They're going to do the plan, and they get that kind of all the trouble. They get the fancy eating plan from the person and the whatever, and then they join a gym and the whole thing is happening. And then they get their world is rocked when, a week or so in, they're binging and they can't figure out why, or just stuffing their face or massively overeating. And it's like, why am I doing this to myself? And they come away feeling like they're the loser. But I want to tell you, it's not you. It was never ever you. We don't do things like that because we hate ourselves. We do things like that because we love ourselves. It's a protection mechanism. And until you find out what that is, where that is sitting in your subconscious, it's never going to change. But I can certainly tell you the first step is to quit dieting. Far out. It's not going to give you the results that you want. If it hasn't so far, and I'll have to get these stats, I'll give them to you tomorrow. Like the actual percentage of people that lose weight on diets, like I think we're right down to 1% now of people that actually ever lose weight on a diet and keep it off forever. It just doesn't happen. It does not happen. It's not a realistic expectation, I think is what we're saying here. Raising your standards is going to be the first step to moving you in the right direction. Analyzing what standards you're actually living by. Next best thing. Deciding if they're yours, if they even came from you, if you like them. Making up the ones that work for you, that are in alignment for you and your body. That is what you want to be doing. So as I said, if you want to talk about private coaching, send me a private message. Send me a message and we can have a chat. But like I said, number one thing that I really want you to get out of today's chat is really assess the standards that you're living by. Because if they are things that you just sort of pump it up there, yeah, I'm going to do this is my new standard, then they're just out the door the second it all gets too much, or it gets too hard, or you're too tired, or you just had a bad day, or the food is there, it's just easier. It's not a standard at all. You just made up a fairy tale story, and it's not permanent. It's not a permanent part of your can I just make up a word like neurostructure? It's not. And that's what we do together when we're working one-on-one. So like I said, send me a private message if it's something that resonates with you and you're thinking, yeah, I am someone, I'm not an idiot. I know what to do. I just can't seem to make it happen. Send me a PM and we'll chat. So yeah, this is what we're saying today. Analyze and assess what standards that you're currently living by. Oh my gosh, we don't even take the time to do that. We just think how we are is how we are, but it's actually not true. You have at some point set standards that you're currently living by. If they're not working for you, squirrel around in there and find out what is going on. Check them out. Erase the ones from the hard drive that are not working for you and program in some new ones that sit with you, that work really well for you and that you would be happy and feel really good and fulfilled to live by. That is what we're talking about today. Until tomorrow, if you have any questions or comments, anything you want to know, throw them in the comments box. I will come back and play with you later, because the only person who really, really, really does have the power to change your life is you. Nobody can do it for you. No standards can do it for you. It is always up to and going to be on you. But when you really do pay attention to what is actually going on and the standards that you're currently living by, whether you even care about them, whether you want to use the ones that you're currently using or choose some new ones, that is when you've got what it takes. Sending you big, big love. I will catch you all tomorrow. Until then, sexy people, bye for now. Thank you so much for spending time with me this week. I have loved being with you all. Remember, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. And as always, the only person who has the power to change your life is you. And the very best part, you've got what it takes. Sending you so much love. I will see you next week. Until then, bye for now.